Welcome to Health Business Mastery, the Creative Thirst podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Hewitt. On today's show, we'll be looking at the state of the dietary supplement industry, 2020 edition. This is your host, Bobby Hewitt, and in today's episode, we'll be doing an industry report on the dietary supplement trends for 2020, some of the projections for the industry, and what the industry has in store for direct response. The global dietary supplement market is projected to approach $252.1 billion by 2025. The common story has always been that as consumers have greater discretionary income, they're more likely to trade up to premium supplements and purchase more expensive supplements than what they're taking. I don't really buy that completely, if you ask me. I don't think people think of supplements in terms of trading up. I think what makes people buy supplements is very specific. It's a type of purchase online, and really it's to solve a pain. If they have a pain that's high enough, that's great enough, they seek out all sorts of solutions. People switch to different supplements all the time to really try to find the one that works for them. The rising aging population and increasing healthcare costs are some of the factors that I think are going to be driving the growth. The dietary supplement market, at least in the North America area, is at a very, very mature stage compared to that in developing nations like Asia. As with any mature stage market, it takes a natural evolution of marketplace sophistication. And just as any product category goes through the 5 stages of marketplace sophistication, then they always come back around again as they create new, unique mechanisms in order to differentiate themselves from the products that are out there. This is one of the main negative sides of the industry. The primary negative factor affecting the dietary supplement industry is really high competition. This is a factor that's always going to be in this industry just by the nature of the products, the nature of the brands, and the nature of how consumers purchase supplements and how they make purchasing decisions around there. This is typically why direct response supplement marketers have a high tendency to lean on emotional driving factors, and all of the copy you see in long-form sales letters and direct response sales copy is all very emotionally driven to break through that clutter and really get the consumer to take action. We'll go into some of the trends in the direct response marketing space a little bit. First, let's kind of cover some of the other trends that I'm seeing. Let's start with the technology end of things. This technology trend, some people are calling it iNutrition. It's really combining technology with other aspects of nutrition. The trend is set to rise in 2020 as the amount of data continues to grow in this area. So the data will basically continue to support the influence of how one manages their own health, especially millennials, and especially as the millennials age. They're more open to sharing data than some of the older people that are afraid of technology. But I see this trend is kind of going beyond just the targeted DNA testing services. Right? We saw a lot of those in the last 3 years. And the promise was that the customized based DNA will continue to rise and become more mainstream in terms of personalized nutrition. But what we got instead was privacy, fear, and issues involving that. People not sort of trusting putting their DNA information online, or not having the FDA actually crack down and not have 23andMe show you what you potentially may contract or conditions you may be prone to. It came more as a risk of data breach and privacy than the glorified promise that we all were given in the beginning of customized supplements custom to our DNA. That probably will still happen. It's just, I believe, going to happen at a slower rate. I think the people themselves, the fear of that privacy is going to hold that back. But that doesn't really stop the technology iNutrition trend that we're seeing in the marketplace. It's really being utilized in other areas beyond DNA. So, like one example is a subscription company called MixFit. They're an artificially intelligent nutrition algorithm called Mina that they've developed, and it basically calculates the nutrients that you need based on your diet and activity level. So it still personalizes the results for you. And the cool thing about it is that it leverages the blockchain to do that. And it does it in real time. So it's basically serves you up a drink in the form of this countertop system that basically spits out your nutritional drink for the day based on your personal activity levels and your diet and your nutrition needs. It was like Fitbit that really kind of paved the way here in this space and really got people used to kind of tracking their own personal data, even though they're maybe a little afraid of who owns that data right now. The blockchain technology, I think, is going to really fortify the trust in that data. At least that's my hope going forward, so we can propel this part of the nutrition industry forward. And I think Samsung's Galaxy Gear was also a big contributor. And the Apple Watch, you can't discount the Apple Watch to gamify our sleep and quality of sleep and the number of steps we've taken. All this is really getting people more used to putting their information in or tracking the information that they're doing personally. And once all of that is combined with personalized nutrition, I think that trend, we're going to see that continue through. But I don't really think it's going to be mainstream until quite some time from now. The other place we're seeing this data trend is being leveraged is offline in workout facilities like Orange Fitness Theory. So Orange Theory Fitness facilitates designing a workout basically around you. It keeps you within your personal orange zone. And that orange zone is a customized workout to keep your heart level at the optimal rate. And the goal there is basically to keep your heart rate between 84% to 90% of your maximum heart rate. So basically the workout that's best for you. Orange Theory Fitness basically straps on some device to monitor your heart rate and put you through a personalized workout to keep you in that zone. But if you really stop and think about it, I mean, we're still at a strange point in time where the 40-year-olds of today, as they enter their 60s in 20 years from now, some of those 40-year-olds of today are super tech savvy, and those people will move on to become the most tech savvy set of 60-year-olds the market has ever seen. Before the millennials actually catch up to old age. So that's going to be the first wave of people that are going to be supplement buyers and yet completely tech savvy. Right now, all of the supplement companies are really marketing to the typical 40 plus age group, right? And that's when we really get down to it. It's typically older than 40, the sweet spot really. 45 to, let's say, 55. And a lot of that group right now in 2020 is not that technically savvy. I think it's maybe split down the middle of, or maybe even less than that, of people that are actually tech savvy in that group. But as the millennials of today sort of age up to a point where they're taking more and more supplements, I think we're going to see lots of changes. So we're seeing this trend of data tracking really is really what's propelling the eye nutrition industry forward. Data tracking on every level, whether you're putting your data in or it's collecting data for you, that trend is being capitalized on the direct response space. So if this is kind of what is propelling people to go forward, what we're seeing is a leverage of the appeal of this trend to capture a ton of buyers in the front end funnel. So I've seen a direct response funnel that has a free plus shipping offer for a heart monitor, basically a knockoff or an Alibaba version of the Fitbit, where you just pay shipping to get into the funnel, and they'll send out your heart rate monitor directly to you just for the price of shipping. Buying customers, capitalizing on that trend of eye nutrition, of that trend of tracking your data, and then, of course, monetizing them with upsells and the back end. But what comes after all this personalization? Well, I think we need to kind of take a step back to answer that question. So first came the age of health tracking apps. There was over 80,000 ways to convert every calorie, every physical activity, and every sleep cycle into data. We voluntarily entered our information into our phones, our Fitbits, and other devices. Because after all, we measure what matters and improve what's measured. That's just what people do. Back then, it was all new. It was fun. It was basically a new way to lose weight, right? Become more mindful even, or really just be more healthy. Who can't get on board with that? But this first layer of data just told us what we did, what we ate, how much more we could eat, or how many more steps we took, and how many more steps we needed to take to complete the circle of gamification for the day. Right? Back then, the marketing message at the beginning of any new trend is really, really simple. Here's the offer and the promise so you can get this benefit. In the case of the offer, it was to download the app or buy the Fitbit. And the promise was that it was going to quantify your life so that you could get the benefit of becoming healthier. And it did deliver. But the age of health apps grew up extremely quickly, right? So along came a deeper layer of data. With the advent of mail-order gene tests, blood tests, and yes, even at-home stool and urine testing, the Dr. Google and WebMD one-way conversations deepened from what you did to who you are. So with any maturing market, the marketing message has to evolve along with the marketplace. So the formula of offer plus promise equals benefit has to change also. So it expands on the promise and the benefit using a unique mechanism. It gets a little bit more complex at this stage where competition starts to enter. So the promise of just tracking what you did is outdone by the new promise of what makes you tick in order to deliver the same benefit or a more surefire way of becoming healthier. The personalization kind of goes up. So the more surefire way is how the benefit itself also gets expanded along with the promise. The unique mechanism is the method in which your unique data is then uncovered. So this is one reason why conversion rates kind of die off over time. The marketplace changed but the marketing messaging or the product offering did not change. So at this point, we see a bunch of new entrances into the marketplace, like 23andMe and countless others just like it, right? Many of them started niching down to serve a specific health condition as a way to expand on the promise and compete in the marketplace, right? So the advancement of the marketplace propels the tracking phase and increases the amount of health data that is out there. So the next logical step beyond this, after all, once you have all the data, it's easier then to do something with it. At least it's easier for the app or the company, not for the consumer. So this quickly moves on to a higher level of personalization. And it changes the conversation yet again to what do you need based on your genetic and even your microbiome makeup. So how can you get more personalized than that? I mean, it's really based on your genes and you. Personalization done right does include testing that helps identify individuals as unique as you and what your unique nutritional needs are. But, I mean, in reality, doctors have been using personalization for years, right? For example, a routine blood test from a physical may determine that you're anemic, and your doctor may then recommend that you take more iron. I mean, that's personalizing, right? But that's all we had before the apps, before the Fitbits, before technology came in. So the way personalization of dietary supplements looks right now really consists of 3 steps. Step 1, take some form of online questionnaire or diet survey, some add-on, a simple saliva test on top of it, or some other DNA-type test. Step 2, your personal prescription is all bundled up and easy for you to take in these daily supplement packets. Step 3, get on a recurring dietary supplement subscription. There are many, many supplement companies already out there offering this level of personalization and supplement plans. A few of them in the early implementations, in my opinion, are takencareof.com. They offer personalized dietary vitamin packs. MyNutritionGenie.com. They provide liquid supplements tailor-made just for you. There's PersonaNutrition.com. They create vitamins and nutrient combinations, rather, that are unique, again, to your specific body type, your lifestyle, and your health habits. With the addition of cross-referencing more than 600 prescription medications to help avoid drug interactions. And that is pretty huge, actually. So in addition to all that, there's tons more. There's VosVitamin.com. There's WheelVitaminAdvisor.com. There are many others out there. But you can see some of these examples and that all of them are kind of expanding and differentiating from each other already. A sign of how competitive the dietary supplement market is and how quickly things are moving. And for those of us who are a bit less likely to buy supplements online, you can get virtual healthcare for a lot less than your copay. Just another example of how it's becoming personalized. So climbing insurance rates, deductibles, and stuff like that are fueling a boom in telemedicine, medical care by phone, online messaging or video chat. Wellness startups out there include companies like Roman, Hims, Hers, and Keeps. All of them offer virtual care. similar to the personalized dietary supplement websites I mentioned. So you basically fill out an online questionnaire, then you're connected with a licensed physician who consults and prescribes remotely. Sitting in the comfort of your own home, you get prescription pharmacy drugs for half the cost. So we see the same differentiation strategy, the same personalized dietary supplement marketplace strategy at work here as well. So niching down to serve vertical markets. For example, Hims offers ailments for men, while hers offers birth control, skincare products, and hair loss treatments. So we went from health data to personalized supplements to personalized virtual healthcare. So what's beyond that? So I'm sure we'll continue to see more differentiation as the marketplace fragments through more and more niched brands as a way to compete, as well as continued expansion of the promise and the benefit. This is the natural course of all marketplaces over time. The dietary supplement market is no different. Competition will rise and cut out many of the new personalized and data-driven websites. There'll be a consolidation effect. But before that happens, I think it'll catch on like wildfire. Dozens of these types of businesses will pop up overnight. After that, there's really only one place it can go in terms of the evolution of marketing message, that is. It's what moves the conversion rate needle for dietary supplement companies. The shift towards this prospect, connecting the personalized physical health data with personalized emotional states. So it goes back to the customer, back to the prospect. Perhaps the marketing message asks you disposition questions to identify this emotional state, or perhaps artificial intelligence combined with machine learning intuitively understands this by compiling all of the available data points you left as a trail online. Or hey, maybe it just shifts to the highest level of emotional intelligence and empathy with a live sales rep just for you. I don't know. But in any case, it's all leading to closely identifying with the prospect. Because no matter what market you're in, this is the natural progression of the sophistication of any marketplace. Stage one is the offer plus the promise and the benefit. Stage two is expand on the promise and the benefit. Stage three is expand the offer using a unique mechanism. Stage four is differentiate the unique mechanism and expand the benefit. And finally, the top stage, stage five, is identifying with the prospect. So what about some trends in the traffic side of the business and the direct response side of the business? So the traffic side of bringing visitors to your offer has become much harder than it was, say, 7 to 10 years ago. The biggest online traffic sources are definitely not okay with promoting dietary supplements, and especially in the long-form direct response type of sales letters and video sales letters that are literally frowned upon by the top traffic sources out there. Today, 80% of all traffic is on a mobile phone. And this trend, I think, is going to greatly affect the approach to copywriting for selling supplements online in 2020 and beyond. We really haven't seen an effect on the medium when it comes to the writing. The thinking has always been that humans are the same and nothing's changed there, so the way we need to sell them is the same. At least that's the direct response sort of mantra that they've been beating forever. But I mean, looking at just the medium as the message type of thinking, how could the medium not have an effect on the messaging, at least the positioning of it, the way it's communicated? Of course it does. It has a huge effect. And some of that is really being pushed further and further in today's time because of everything that's going around us politically, and because most of the traffic, the majority of the tier one traffic online is really controlled by just one or two sources, right? It's Google and Facebook. And if the majority of online traffic sources are restricting you from getting any serious volume of visitors to your sales page, then there's no way you can sell. The broader customer demand for health and wellness products continues to go up, right? Fueling online customer research, which influences buying decisions when it comes to health supplements, increases the buying cycle, in my opinion, as well. And in today's world of Dr. Google, Facebook, I think, is poised for another big shift. And I'm already kind of seeing it playing out now, and have been for the last couple of years. Other people have seen it in the industry as well. Those who market supplements online need to prepare for this trend in 2020 and beyond if they want to be successful, especially those that use direct response marketing to sell supplements. So back when major traffic channels didn't tighten up their will on your sales pages, like that didn't matter so much. They weren't really too concerned about what was on the page as long as you were paying for traffic to the page. Back in the day, you could have the same sales page for all your traffic. The more advanced supplement marketers back then even had different pre-sale pages for each type of traffic, at least the traffic temperature, right? Different pre-sale pages for cold traffic, warm traffic, hot traffic. And maybe if they had more time and resources, they had a different marketing lead. That's the first 300 to 500 words, say, in your sales page. That was unique to the traffic source, if it was a big enough promotion to be worth it. All right, that was not that long ago. Right, today, in 2020, successful supplement marketers will need to have separate funnels for each traffic source just to keep up with sales. I'm seeing a lot of direct response supplement companies do this. A lot of my clients are doing this, and it's all because of tighter restrictions from the top tier traffic sources, basically due to changes in the culture and growth of those traffic sources. As Facebook grows and grows, it becomes more critical for them to hold on to that revenue stream, and they don't want to lose it. And I think this is only going to continue to get worse as fake news continues to span the collective consciousness. People are more, have their guard up more. And this forever changes the way they're open to receiving information. So trust and belief, two critical factors in selling dietary supplements online, have always been important. And that's what sets supplements apart from selling any other product online. But the ramification of that is really more work for the supplement seller. Creating multiple sales funnels for each traffic source is actually a good thing, though. I mean, it forces direct response supplement marketers to think more strategically about the buyer. So we've been seeing and learning what works and what doesn't for years now, working in the industry across many health clients. I mean, everyone else is kind of playing catch up to this because the big boys have been doing this even before they needed to, just as a way to increase conversions. It's always been this way to a degree, really. With email buys, will allow a very different page than what Google and Facebook will allow. And the difference is getting way more strict of what you can and can't do with direct response supplement marketing. There'll always be people that will cross the line, of course, and that's more of a personal risk issue. But in today's trend, Facebook is becoming its own nuanced beast, which is very different than any other top-tier traffic source. Yet it's probably the best one out there because of the volume, the reach, and the ability to hyper-target, right? Not to mention build trust quickly. Supplement marketers are forced to play this game if they want access to the large audience on Facebook, which is part of how you scale beyond your current limit. And this really changes how development teams are organized around projects, as well as how A/B tests will be run in the future. I think we're going to see a higher need for a bigger development team to compensate for multiple funnels. I think the supplement companies that can't keep up will need more time to keep up with the changing needs. So they're going to lag behind. They're not going to grow as quickly. The needs also increase for the conversion optimization team to keep up with the A/B testing on different funnels and different traffic sources and really slicing the data more granularly. The bottom line is the funnel won't be the same anymore. A Facebook funnel will have a different A/B test than another funnel with a different traffic source. The way supplement funnels are marketed to the mainstream will also change as a result, I think. Facebook is now mainstream, right? And let's face it. And it'll need to accept that it's not a platform, but a media company. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I think that's really the reality of Facebook. It is a media company, even if they will never say it publicly. That's the business model that they're in. So the impact is that on supplement marketing is pretty profound when you think about it. That's going to force direct response supplement marketing to move away from the curiosity and fear-driven approaches to selling, which they have always relied on, and move towards offer-driven selling. For good or bad, Facebook is imposing this upon them, whether knowingly or unknowingly, right? So it's less of an agitation problem in the content and more towards discounting. And Facebook hates when marketers push the fear and pain buttons to sell. Now, they work fantastically, and that's why marketers use them. But the mainstream offer approach is also a double-edged sword, in my opinion. It does present more trust, but it may hurt the medium-sized supplement companies, those in the $5 to let's say $15 or $30 million revenue range, because they simply won't convert at the same level if they don't use the fear tactics and just go with a straight upsell offer. It's really restricting where they can scale an offer, or it's forcing them to get way more creative. Or the worst case scenario is it's a race to the bottom. But this is the game we're in right now. This is the game we have to play to get traffic from Facebook and Google, at least if you're in the health supplement space. Of course, there are other resources. Of course, there are other platforms to get traffic from. But those are the tier one traffic sources, right? Those are the big boys that you can scale with. So what other direct response marketers are really calling this is as the watered down approach. So it's essentially a Facebook-friendly version of your copy, or a discount offer-driven front-end offer that are harder to convert visitors into sales because they eliminate all the emotion from the sale, and it also doesn't help you differentiate your product. Everything becomes a sea of sameness, and it's a race to the bottom as far as price goes. There's high competition. There's so many different supplements claiming to do the same thing, that there's a lot of confusion in the marketplace. There's a lot of mistrust out there of consumers not knowing which supplements to take, which are sourced from reputable places. There's just a lot of information that they need to consume, they need to understand in order to make a purchase at all. There's a huge cycle of research that these customers typically go through, and they're constantly switching from supplement to supplement, trying to find the right solution for them. So in a world where Facebook owns the traffic, what effect does this have on supplement marketing? Well, if it continues down this trend of needing to advertise on Facebook in order to reach your audience, because that's where the biggest audience is, and that's where offers are working, it's going to continue down further into the watered down sales copy approach. We're going to see less, at least on Facebook anyway, less of the more traditional agitation, problem, solution, direct response style copywriting for supplement marketing, and more towards offer-driven discounting. Now, that sort of mainstream offer approach is both good and bad. So it's absolutely going to hurt the small and medium-sized supplement companies, because it then becomes a race to the bottom on price. Competing on price makes it harder to scale and turns your unique mechanism into a commodity, at least on Facebook. Alternative traffic sources are going to become flooded as a result, as people move away from Facebook to other areas. That competition is going to rise significantly. And that's going to result in a raising of the cost of traffic on other platforms, making it harder to scale elsewhere. So the other route is getting people in via a legitimate, compliant articles that provide value. That's kind of nothing new, right? Ryan Deiss and Perry Belcher have been using these tactics and teaching them for years. Driving traffic to high-quality content and then retargeting them back to a lead magnet or to a direct response funnel with some teeth. But that method does take longer, and it's not any cheaper than the alternative. So the bottom line is health supplement marketers in the next 3 to 5 years will need to play a longer game when it comes to acquiring customers. The only question is, will your supplement company be one of them that can afford to play this longer game? Do you have a high enough conversion rate? Do you have a good enough product for retention? Do you have the economic side of the business worked out? These are all difficult things to do. These are all tough questions. And if you need any help with any of this, please reach out. My team and I work with dietary supplement companies who are struggling to maximize the profitability of their funnels so they can scale. We typically work with direct response companies, long-form sales pages, video sales letters. That's the kind of world we live in. Any direct-to-customer sale online with a supplement is our specialty. You can find us online at creativethirst.com or reach out to me directly via email at Bobby, B-O-B-B-Y, at creativethirst.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the show so you don't miss any episodes. And thanks for listening. Creative Thirst is a direct response digital agency focusing on conversion rate optimization and A/B testing. We work with dietary supplement companies who are struggling to maximize the profitability of their funnels so they can scale. Through the last 7 years in the online health space, we've optimized many dietary supplement businesses. And in that time, we've uncovered the 3 critical funnels for success. We put together that information in a free digital download called The 3 Funnels Every Health Supplement Business Needs to Build a Multi-million-dollar Empire. You can get that free report by going to creativethirst.com. Scroll down to the appropriate section and click on the blue Get Your ebook button. The music in today's show is called Cheery Monday by Kevin MacLeod and is used under the Creative Commons license.